Yo, Thought Warriors. What is up? How Learning is on. It is I, Van Lathan Jr.
And it's me, Rachel and Lindsay. I mean,
Rachel's eating.
you could have waited till I finished this last chip.
You said whenever you're ready. Your
You want
words.
people to talk about me.
You said wherever
I would like
you're
everybody
ready.
to know I asked for a little notice because I
That's
did
not what
not want to
happened.
be respectful. I do understand
That's not
people
what
hate.
happened.
I do understand people
You
hate
guys,
me eating.
this is such a lie. We're like, Rachel came in, she's eating, right? She doesn't care
I've been
about
up
the
since
podcast.
3:30 this morning.
Yeah,
I traveled to get here.
It's fine.
I haven't had anything to eat.
Yeah. So Rachel's, she doesn't care. And I said, I'll wait till you finish the chips. And she said, whenever you're ready. And so I said it.
Whatever.
Where'd you go this weekend? I heard that you did something special.
Is that what you heard?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what Kalika told you?
Yeah, something special, some specialities.
I went to Miraval.
The fuck is that?
It's like a retreat in Tucson, Arizona, outside of Tucson. It's all like you have limited phone access. You can't use your phone in certain areas. It was very rejuvenating. I went with Justin. Shout out to Justin. He was like,
Chicken nigga?
he set this whole thing up. He was like, I know you need this. This will be great for you. He's been before. And it was, I mean, from massages to you would love this. It was, I'm going to say the word wrong. Equine,
like
Okay.
horse therapy.
Yeah. It was, the first hour was 2 hours. The first hour I was like, I don't know about this. Second hour, I was like, okay, this is why people cry.
You crying with the horses?
I didn't cry, but something happened in me talking to him, and I was like, and the horse started moving, and I was like, okay. I couldn't get the horse to move the whole time.
All right.
And then the horse started moving.
All right.
And so it was extremely therapeutic. Did a psychic reading.
Sweet.
And yeah, just detached. Great conversation, connecting with my friend, connecting with myself, detaching from everything else. And it was really good. I was there from Friday till this morning. Left first thing this morning, came straight into the podcast.
Sounds amazing.
You would love it.
Yeah.
You would love it.
Amazing. I'm glad. What
did you do? And why is your cowboy hat not here?
Oh,
The people are gonna want to know.
So I went to the Bass Pro Shop.
You're proud.
I love the Bass Pro Shop.
Never been.
You never been to a Bass Pro Shop?
I've never been
before?
fishing.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I know. I'm willing to go though.
Yeah, we're going to go a big fishing trip. And when I was in the Bass Pro Shop, I was thinking, I was getting more stuff because it's stuff I could get more shirts and t-shirts, country stuff. And I saw these Bass Pro hats. I just wanted to rock the Bass Pro hat for one day. This cowboy hat taking a break.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Bass Pro hat for one day. I had a very transformative weekend.
Oh, I love this in a good way.
In an interesting way.
Okay. Do tell.
I had a Brazilian wax on Saturday.
Wait. Okay. Guys. Why did you get a Brazilian wax? Because there's only one area you get a Brazilian wax.
What are you talking about? Yeah. I got Brazilian wax.
Why?
I got a full man Brazilian wax
Why?
on Saturday. So I'm pushing the fitness era real tough, right? So I've been running a lot. And when I run, I have an interesting situation with hair. I'm a hairless person.
Clearly not.
So I don't really grow hair on my arms.
Or your head.
True. I don't really grow hair on my legs.
I don't either.
I don't grow hair on my legs. Very little hair grows under my arms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay.
But
there's other places where the hair is very prominent.
What about your back?
A little bit at the top.
Okay.
A little bit
back
at the
patch,
top. A little back patch at the top.
Little bottom back.
No bottom.
Okay. All
No
right,
bottom.
all right.
And then on the stomach a little bit. And then it starts to get pretty woolly. Like it's pretty bad. Like it's like all the hair in my body goes to like one area, and it's very woolly. And this has been a whole thing throughout my entire life, right?
Okay.
The whole thing throughout my entire life has been very woolly. And even when I was playing sports and stuff, back in the day, sometimes it would get caught up in there, and you'd be like,
Okay.
whatever. It's very woolly. Well, I've started to run again because I'm back in the boxing gym.
Okay.
as I'm running, I got some ingrowns,
Oh, wow. Okay, because there's a little friction.
little friction, some ingrowns. And it was like, go get waxed, Kalika says. Or she was like, you could
Laser.
do it.
I have a great person for you to go to. It does not hurt.
Doesn't hurt.
And just like 6 or 7 treatments. And so you did Brazilian. So you did the back too.
Everything.
You did the back. Okay.
Everything. Let me tell you
You
something.
feel good?
I don't know how I feel.
It's a good feeling.
I don't know how I feel. What I know is that this was an experience. I mean,
The positions you had to get in?
I didn't have to get in the positions that people think that I would have to have gotten in.
All right,
Okay.
well, that's I
But by the
did.
way, I don't have any problem. It wasn't even that. It was a hot honey Brazilian wax. The lady goes, puts the honey in there. I walk in there, the honey's already in the microwave. Tells me, she's like, first of all, she says, take your pants off. And I'm like, I gotta get the dick out in front of this lady now. The dick has to come out. So the dick comes out. And she goes, sit right here. So I'm sitting on the edge of the thing. The dick is out. And the honey's in the microwave, just takes the honey out. And she's doing the honey. She was fantastic, by the way. She goes, is the honey too hot? And I was like, a little bit. She didn't remark to the
Yeah,
fact
she
that it
didn't
was too
care.
hot. She just doesn't fucking care. And then it was like, okay, hold this. I held a little part of this. Woof.
Immediate reaction.
Ah!
Yeah.
Because on
Because
the
you've never done it.
on the front part right there is
The worst.
that's the part. That's the part that hurt because the hair was there. Woof. Woof. I'm like, oh shit.
That's the worst part.
And then the waxing got more. The waxing of like the balls and all of that stuff actually wasn't that painful.
Yeah.
That actually wasn't that
Neither is
bad.
the backside.
Yeah, that wasn't a big deal.
No, it's not painful.
The big deal about that was basically just like hot honey in the asshole. Didn't feel, I'm like this. She's like, now the butt. I was like, I don't think we need to do that. She's like, the butt.
You asked for a Brazilian.
And I was like, okay. So vip, 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 vip. They actually had to wax part of the actual shaft.
That sounds like it hurts.
Didn't really hurt that bad. It was zip, 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 zip,
Yeah,
zip.
nobody tells you about the upper part. You're going to have to go again. It does get less painful, but I would suggest lasering.
Lasering.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't do it. I don't.
I might just run less. I might just not run as much. Because it's not that big of a deal.
Do you like it?
It's not that big of a deal when my weight is lower. I used to run miles and miles and miles, but my weight's a little higher now. As I'm getting back into running, I want to get back so I can box longer. I went boxing a couple. Shout out to Ray and Jack over there at Phil's gym. I went there to box with Ray. Ray 21, big heavyweight. I got my ass kicked because I gassed out. I want to be able to box and perform for a longer amount of time. So I have to get my road work up. I have to run, start off 3 miles a day, and then get up to running 10 miles on the weekends. So I got to get my road work in. And it was a thing. And I feel changed. I don't feel it. I don't know how to describe the experience. It was very,
Do you like the look? Do you like the way you look?
Not really. I mean, I don't not like it, but there's no hair. Look, I have shaved before and to just shave it down, but this is different.
I don't like that look.
Yeah, probably not, because it probably feels like feminine.
But I don't even like it for women.
All the shave?
I've had when I go get it lasered,
Mhm.
actually need to go back. She was like, you know what? I wish I hadn't done everything. A lot of people regret. There's a lot of remorse.
What's the remorse about?
Because if you laser, then it's never really going to come back the same. Like
Oh,
if
so
you
you just-
if you
it's forever?
finish all the treatments. Sometimes it comes back like when women are pregnant because of the hormones and stuff, but it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like you got to make a decision.
Wow.
Interesting was correct.
Very interesting.
But
I mean, it was just honey,
yeah.
honey,
They can't waste
Honey.
time. They can't let you think about it.
honey, honey. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And
I'll
then,
send you to Nurse Jamie.
and then when I left, this lady was good. I
No.
don't want to diss the
No,
Brazilian
if
hot
you
honey
want
waxer people.
laser. If you want
Oh.
laser.
Because they were good, but it was like, she was like, she was a G. She was like, you did good. I was like, what? She's like, no tears. I'm like, guys cry? She goes, yeah. You get people tear up. And I'm like, oh, cool. She goes, 5 weeks, you come see me again.
That's how she was talking to you.
Yes, 5 weeks, you come see me again. The rest of that hair out that thing.
She didn't say, Van, stop.
That's
Let's
what
move
she
on.
said.
She didn't.
She's like, 5
it
weeks.
always goes
5 weeks, you come see me
another
again, get the
level.
hair out that thing. All slippery balls. It's all slippery. The hair stops it from being, everything's slipping and sliding around down there now.
All right.
It's true.
I'm glad.
I went swimming yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, I went swimming. It was different. It felt different.
Oh. Were you doing that to test it out? Is
Yeah,
that
I was
why you
trying
went
to
swimming?
see. Yeah, I was trying to see how things would go when I
You're
go
gonna be
swimming.
trying new things just to see what it feels like.
Yeah, I worked out and everything. It's just like a slippery. I see why the hair is down there to protect.
It is protection.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to apologize. I have to do an official BBI statement. Agent Biracial let me know that some of my recent statements about biracials have gone too far, and it's not in keeping in step with what we do at the BBI.
This is why you need somebody who's biracial in the group. What did you say?
I said something about biracials, and it wasn't in step with what we do at the BBI. What we do at the BBI is we examine biraciality and its effect on culture. There's no specific animus against biracials.
Correct.
It's not.
And I'm glad that she put you in check.
She did. That's why Agent Biracial, Agent Stacks, Biracial Stacks is her official name. Stacks Podcast, great podcast. That's why she's invaluable to the Holy Trinity of the BBI. She was like, yo, it seems like you're trying to start a race war. And I was like, no. So she's good. So
you're apologizing to all the biracials.
I apologize to any biracials that might have been hurt. Love biracials. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and it was about the whole Drake thing. Drake, Kendrick Lamar.
Were they a biracial?
They were not a biracial. And so I will say this. It was funny because we're having to talk about it, and we're talking about Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. And this person says, well, yeah, I mean, the only situation, the only reason why that's going like that, as far as like Kendrick Lamar and Drake, is because, Kendrick is black. And it's a situation to where he's up against somebody, whatever. And I went, wait. He's like, what? I was like, Drake is black. And he went, oh. I'm like, yeah, see what just happened? I was like, Drake is black.
He's black.
Like,
He's black.
He goes, damn. I was like, Drake is black. Drake is black. I just want to let everybody know, Drake is black. Okay,
yes, we've acknowledged that on the show.
We can talk about culture all we want, but as far as Drake is black, he's black. And it was so funny. I actually started laughing in the situation because the difference was the only reason why this went like this is essentially what says is Kendrick is black and Drake isn't. And I was like, wait a minute now. Drake is black. He's a black guy. He's black.
He's black. He's black.
He's black.
Remember, all black is not the same, guys.
So culturally, we might have a conversation about what we recognize and what's familiar to us and what that matters. But like, Drake's a black dude. He's
Once you said it, this person, I'm assuming he accepted it.
We just talked about the reason why what's happening with Drake and Kendrick. They just filmed the Not Like Us videos, kind of what we were talking about. What's happening with Drake and Kendrick right now? We talked about why it feels different. And it feels like there is a portion of people that are trying to divorce Drake from his blackness.
Yeah.
And if we want to talk about whether or not, we want to put guardrails on black culture and have a deeper conversation and understanding about of what black culture is, that's fine. But you can't de-black the nigga.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think any of our takes have been that at all. But I do think that's like low-hanging fruit and easy for people to do. Like your friend in that conversation.
He did, but he wasn't doing it on purpose.
But I know, I get that. But I think it's just easy to think that way.
Have we de-blacked Drake?
Well, I think this did for a lot of people. Not that it should. I think this is where I've heard the argument the most that Drake isn't black. I mean, Rick Ross was literally saying he's not black.
Is it fair?
No, he's black. He's black. Otherwise, you need to open up a case.
It would have to be.
If
There's
he's not-
already a case open. But it's not. Remember, it's already a case open. But Drake is black. Like, why? It's kind of weird that we're kind of getting into this realm.
Because a lot of people don't. They identify. Again, it's where the whole thing is. Being black isn't a monolith. It's where like that whole conversation dives into. A lot of people gatekeep blackness.
Yeah.
You have to do certain things to be considered black enough. Otherwise, and especially if you're biracial, it's even harder. They'll tell you you're not black or you're not black enough. Or I'm more black than you because.
I have a question for you right now.
Uh-oh.
And I want you to answer this. Let's say there was $1 million
Why
on the
do
line.
this with money? Go ahead.
Because that's what you care about.
Well, now.
You love money. I'm going to put out that Trump clip pretty soon. Get the streets talking about you selling your vote to Donald Trump. Disgusting. Let's say there was $1 million on the line and you were going to get that $1 million based upon the accuracy of your answer to this question.
Okay.
With $1 million on the line, would you bet that Drake knows how to play spades or not?
Yes,
You think that Drake knows how to play spades?
I do.
Ashley, do you
Yes.
think Drake knows how to play spades?
No. Do you?
Probably not.
is to me, spades is easy to learn. Like you should know spades.
Yeah. Do you know how to play?
Yeah.
You know how to play spades? Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Actually.
Me and Ian just played
And
spades.
dominoes.
Me-
See, if you ask me dominoes, I'd be like, he probably don't know how to play dominoes.
I don't play dominoes.
Hmm.
Not a big deal where I'm from. Like I don't play. It's not.
It is in the South.
I never. We played spades all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Maybe it's a northern
when
Louisiana thing.
when I got to California, my uncles and them played dominoes like all the time. I played
Interesting.
spades, I played tonk, I played a lot. They've never seen a lot of people playing dominoes.
in
maybe they
northern
kept the dominoes.
Louisiana,
Uh-huh.
where my people are from, that's where I learned.
Uh-huh.
That's what they would pull out at the family reunion. It was dominoes. And even in Texas, dominoes, spades.
Yeah. Dominoes. Don't know how to play dominoes.
It's easy.
Spades, interesting situation. There's a lot of people that say spades don't matter no more.
Somebody who doesn't know how to play spades says that.
But we think
We gotta keep up. You gotta pass spades down from generation to generation. That's the thing.
But we think right now, would you choose Drake to be your spades partner? Do you think?
I didn't say that, but I do think he knows how to play.
I'm asking you, do you think he knows well enough to play?
Yeah, I think he can play.
All right, we'll see. I wonder if Drake can play spades. I doubt they play spades. Jomi's back there. Jomi.
Can you play?
Oh, Jomi definitely can't play no spades. Jomi, can you play spades?
Absolutely not.
See, I knew Jomi couldn't play.
Nobody taught me.
But at the same time, Jomi,
We'll teach you.
at the same time, Jomi African though. That means that it's two different cultures. So y'all probably same thing. So we have to do cultural exchange. That's what I'm saying. I don't expect. Jomi gave the jollof rice. I'll tell you straight up right now. I told Jomi this. If it's one thing I'm mad at white people about more than anything, taking us from our land, they took us from the jollof rice. The
So let's have
jollof
a
rice was
jollof and spades
motherfucking
party.
crazy.
I'll throw it at
Jollof
my-
and spades.
I'll throw it in my house. We'll have a jollof and spades.
I mean,
Hey,
no matter what.
we bring in Africans and Black Americans together.
We're gonna
Jollof
do
and
it.
spades.
That's right. That's right.
With a performance
Rep
by
your country.
Shabuzi, who is
Yeah, Wale to come through.
Wale. Hey, I'm serious. Hold on for a second. Let me get Wale on the phone real quick.
I thought you were gonna call Shabuzi.
I don't know that nigga like that. Let me get Wale on the phone. Cause I could get Wale and we do the first ever, because Wale throw a hell of a party. Wale throw a hell of a party.
So we gotta go to the. Is he here? We gotta go to the East Coast.
No, he stayed. Last time I heard he was staying here. Wale throw a hell of a party. He a van. Hey, real quick. Don't say nothing crazy on the podcast. I got an idea to throw at you right now. We just came up with something. Say if you down or you not down. That's all you gotta say. We decided we're gonna have a Jollof and Spades party. We're gonna bring the diaspora together. All right, a Jollof and Spades party. My man Jomi here is Nigerian. He said he don't know how to play spades. It's not because he's Nigerian, but maybe it is. But Jollof and Spades, bring everybody together.
Pollinating the cultures. I see the vision.
You down with it? You got a host, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Stuff like that.
All right, bro. All right, man. Peace.
When I get back to the States, because I'm in London now. When I get back to the States, we can talk about it for sure, though.
All right, let's chop it up. All right, brother. Love you, man. Peace.
But I love the idea. I for sure love the idea.
All right, man. Peace.
All right.
Peace. There you go.
Jollof and Spades.
Jollof and
We
Spades
could really
party.
do this. We could book a performer.
Yeah. Who can
It
we
don't have to
get?
be him. Not
Who?
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi.
We get Willie.
Wale got a deeper catalog, man.
If he likes it, we can really make. We got to have both cultures represented.
Higher learning Jollof and Spades party. But here's the thing about the Jollof situation is when we do this, Jollof encompasses so much of West Africa. We're going to have everybody. We're going to have Sierra Leone. We're going to have Ghana. We're going to have Nigeria.
So excited about this.
I love, because this is what you do. Rather than put all of these barriers, which I love to do, we bring everybody together. Higher learning, Jollof and Spades party. The finest Jollof rice. Jomi's there. Kerm is there. We're there. Here in LA. We could maybe do it at Africon, after Africon. Jollof and Spades. You don't know what Africon is? Interesting. All right. I'm glad we had some fun at the beginning because we have some very sad news to report to you on the other side of this break. Okay, Jacksonville rapper Foolio was reportedly killed Sunday morning in a shooting. Julio Foolio was shot, apparently, in a hotel parking lot in Tampa early Sunday morning. This was an ambush, reportedly, after leaving a party for his 26th birthday. He was born Charles Jones on June 21st, 1998. Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not sure if everybody is aware of the hip-hop scene down in Jacksonville, but it is filled with a lot of talent and a lot of violence. Just gonna be honest with you.
We've covered a little bit of it.
A little bit. A lot of talent, a lot of talent, a lot of violence. There were two factions that were going back and forth. Julio Foolio was on the side of one of these factions. On the other factions, on the other side was guys like Spitta Benz, Young and Ace, and you know, it was pretty serious. I mean, we had covered it here. There was a song called Who I Smoke that came out some time ago. The actual names of dead people in the song, Dissing Like That, which is a staple of drill rap. Also, Foolio himself had made a song where he made his own version of When I See You as well, but he also made a song where he was dissing on them, and he had been shot in Houston, which was referred to in the When I Smoke song, in the Who I Smoke song. The last verse of that song, they talk about the actual attempt on Foolio's life and how they were upset that he did not die. According to press reports here, he was wanting to celebrate his birthday, so he inadvertently, or maybe not inadvertently, dropped his location. One of the parties had gotten shut down and he moves to another party and people knew where he was. Hours after he died, Young and Ace, which is somebody that represents the other side there in Jacksonville, seriously feuding with Foolio, dropped a diss track about his death. It's called Do It. Catch his ass, do his ass, you know he's finished. Ace raps at one point in the track. Now, we should say that legally, there's no reason to believe yet that anybody from that other side had anything to do with Julio's death. Nobody knows who got him. He was shot up. The car was shot up. It looked terrible. Whoever was gunning for him wanted to make sure that he was dead. He was 26 years old. And this is a never-ending seeming cycle of violence that exists in several major cities and places all over the place where it seems like people are clicked up on each other, and the street leads to this stuff being discussed in the rap music, and then the rap music becomes public, which then feeds the energy of the beefs themselves, because once you've dissed somebody's dead brother, cousin, son in public, and everybody knows about it, now they want you to diss. Now you're dissing. Now everybody's dissing the dead, talking about the dead, and it's seemingly never ending the way they're gonna take shots at each other and try to kill each other.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this before when the Who I Smoke video came out. And we were talking about drill music, and we were talking about it in a general sense, and I didn't really do a deep dive into these two crews like I did after this killing with Julio Fulio.
Yeah.
And I think what I can't get past is the disregard for life. It's not even like it's just how easily they kill and have no remorse, brag about it, profit off of it. And it's not just them, it's the people who are listening and feeding into it, which feeds them even more to want to do it. They've been beefing since 2017. Both of them have lost brothers, like friends, just like, I mean,
grisly shit.
Shootings back and forth at apartments, drive-bys, like parking lots, whatever, houses, just and nothing stops. There's no truce. They just keep feeding into it, making a video. You know, Julio Fulio got shot in the foot. Youngin got shot 8 times, survived. They make us another song about it. This has been going on, is my point, that this started in 2017. They drop Who I Smoke in 2021, and now it becomes more of a national thing.
Because everybody knows now.
Because now everybody knows. So it feeds into it. I looked up the video, Who I Smoke, and I looked up When I See You. Both almost have 50 million, probably more after this death. 50 million views. I looked at the comments. The comments aren't taking it seriously. You don't even see, like, this needs to stop. Young people are losing their lives. This is creating a certain culture. These are talented individuals who are throwing it away, you know, to create songs about killing one another and disregarding life. All the comments were like, who came here after Julio Fulio died? Oh, I can't wait to hear what Young and Ace is going to do next. Oh, did you hear Young and Ace's new video? Oh, it's not going to stop now. I can't wait to hear the next diss track. Like, as if it's not real life. When I see this, it seems we are so disconnected from real life that these people are really dying. They're making music about it, but the people who are observing or taking in this music, consuming it, aren't realizing what's happening. It's so troubling. I couldn't stop. I could not stop. It's all I was looking at once the news came out that he passed away, because it just blows my mind.
So, you know, we had conversations about drill rap on the show before, and it seems as if my opinions on drill, certain aspects of it, were conservative, or they were like old man type shit, right?
That's how people perceived it?
Yeah, because the commentary on it, the conversation on it, often is brought back to what artists should be able to put in their songs.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say straight up right now, artists should be able to express themselves in songs in any way that they choose, right? You want to say whatever you want to say it. Say it. Put it in your records. Like, a lot of this stuff that we're talking about right now, it reflects violence that would exist whether or not hip hop was around or not, right? Because the situations and the conditions in a lot of these different places kind of create that, right? What I'm telling you is that there's a specific brand of street music. Like, I'm sorry, there's a specific brand of street music that is directly celebratory of death in an intimate way. Now, look, there's not a lot of difference between the two examples I'm about to give here. One example is I'll kill any nigga that comes around and tries to whatever. I make my Glock talk, blah, 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 blah. That's disgusting and worshiping of death in and of itself. It is. And if we're being honest, there's a place now and has always been a place in hip hop for that.
Yeah.
Since the gangster element of hip hop kind of rose to the forefront. But then there's also a different type of music that's been surging over the past 10 years. And that is music that says, I killed your brother. Like, I killed your brother. I killed your sister. Your sister died. Your brother died. Your cousin died. Your best friend died. And I'm happy that they're dead. And I also want to kill you when I see you. Not in a way that is in any way artistic, something that is reflecting actual violence and pain that's happening to people. Like that one song, the beatbox remix, where they're saying, like, where's Corbin? There's an ad-lib in the song. Corbin refers to a kid named Corbin Jackson who was killed and taken out and had his body taken out and dragged out into the forest and left for dead. He was missing. Nobody knew where he was. So it's people around the country that are going, where's Corbin? Like in that ad-lib, and they're talking about an actual person. I know, guys, it's a fine line. And especially when you're talking about behavior that's bad, it is different.
Yeah.
Like, it is different. It's not the same. It is different. Now, it's an escalation or an evolution of something that already existed, but it is different.
Yeah.
This music, this brand of it, this style of it, this particular part of it is akin to a death cult. Like, you said how easily these kids kill, and you're right. I'm surprised also at how easily they die. He's 26. Like, the lifestyle that's being led here just lends itself to an early death.
And they've been trying to kill him since he came out with the video. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
This wasn't like, they've been trying to shoot him up.
Right. And honestly, I gotta be honest with you. With him and a lot of these other people, these young brothers that get into this, they work for these deaths.
Yeah.
They work for them. They continuously engage in this, and they can't be talked out of it. There's not enough money that'll make them stop. There's not enough clout that'll make them stop. As a matter of fact, the fact that this type of activity works for them is only more incentive for them to continue it on and even go crazier on it. So I know that I sound like the old man in the room when I say this, but his death and the fact that a diss song was made about his death within hours of him dying is only going to lead to more attempts on other people's lives. Now, everybody that fuck with him is going to be trying to get on Young and Ace or Spot 'em Got 'em or Spin a Bent or whoever else is out there that's from the other side that's making rap music. So this specific type of drill is really just ESPN for murder. It's about keeping score on people that actually died. And I'm like, I don't see how y'all don't see that this is different. Like, I really don't. Or maybe I just, Julio died. They was bound to get him.
Yeah. Yeah. When you say you don't see how it's different, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to people that's saying, hey, because these are the same, they'll say, hey, these are the same conversations that Tipper Gore had. Or that Calvin Butts had, or C. Dolores Tucker had.
It's not a freedom of speech
or any activist who had an issue with hip hop or, particularly gangster rap or anything like that. And look, let's be honest. You go back and you listen to those gangster rap songs, or you listen to a lot of the gangster rap songs that are out there, the full gamut of bad ideas are in those songs.
Mm-hmm.
There's sexual violence, there's domestic violence, there's drug dealing, there's murder, all of those things. There's out and out rape, celebration of rape and rape culture. All of that stuff is in that music, right? All that stuff is in that music. There is a specificity here about the violence that makes it super duper intimate and very corrosive and directly connected to more violence. You could make the argument that in the grand scheme of things, having music that delves so deeply into street violence perpetuates violence,
Yeah.
But you can definitely say that if I make a song about having killed your best friend and I'm laughing at it,
Yeah.
that is a direct antagonizing factor to there being more violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're specifically calling out who you've killed and then calling out what you're going to do next to the next person.
Mhm.
And then they die. I don't understand how, like when we talked about Who I Smoke, and they're literally calling out, they at least say like 6 names in that song. How is nothing happening to them?
What do you mean nothing happening to them?
Well, I just mean like they're saying
I'm talking about from the police.
police.
What?
From the police, yeah.
Yeah.
From the police.
What? Oh,
Police.
oh, you don't like that. It's too nigga for you. But no, no, I get it. It's
You would think that, especially with what's happening in Georgia, right? They're using lyrics in court. This to me is literally writing out like because I think one of the songs that they do fully explains how they killed somebody. It's not the ones we name, like full out, this is what we did, how we did it, how we killed him, what happened.
At the end,
how is this okay?
At the end of Who I Smoke, I always fuck up the line. Hold on for a second. Who I Smoke, smoke. Fast Money Goon, Spin the Benz, Young and Ace. Yeah, Spottom Gom is not on that one. So, lyrics. This is the last one here. On the last verse, it goes, I told a rocket when I travel, I'm pistol packing in Houston. I was lurking on his page and caught him lacking in Houston. We let off shots, he got shot and went live. I was tweaking like, fuck man, that bitch ain't die. That is directly about Julio Fulio and how he got shot in Houston. Like, I'm pistol packing in Houston. I was lurking on his page and caught him lacking in Houston. We let off shots. He got shot and went live. I was tweaking like, fuck, man, the bitch ain't died. It's like, and then in the next line, he says, when they diss on 2 times, we're going to spin a few times. And so he's telling you right now, you dissing on my homies that's died, so I'm going to kill you in this same song where they dissing on their homies that died, so I'm going to kill them. Look, y'all, if the art of rap, if you care about the art of rap more than you care about the young men who are spilling blood in these neighborhoods, I get it. I understand that if you want to make sure, if you don't want to jump off the ledge. I'm telling you right now, I don't fucking care about hip hop as much as I care about these guys stopping doing things that are putting their lives in danger.
Yeah.
I don't care about hip hop as much as I care about them not murdering each other. I don't care about hip hop as much as I care about the artistic freedom in hip hop, as much as I care about stopping the cycle of never-ending violence of 25 and 26-year-olds whose brains aren't fully formed yet, who don't understand the lives that they have to lead and how long they are. Man, I saw an interview, shout out to Zane Lowe. I saw an interview a couple of weeks ago of Chief Keef. Chief Keef was like 29 or 30. And Chief Keef was talking about his youth and what he went through and how he came out the other side of it. He's about to drop music in a little while. And it did my soul so good to see Chief Keef doing well. He got out of Chicago.
I was going to say, how to get out of it.
He got out of Chicago. Look, he's had a crazy troubled situation filled with all kinds of terrible things that have been done, he's been accused of, and the whole nine. But like what I'm saying right now is, it's just more to life than getting fucking murdered at the Holiday Inn when you're 26 over some bullshit. And I don't give a fuck what y'all say about it. I don't give a fuck what y'all say about it. I don't give a fuck about this music as much as I care about these little niggas getting toe tagged left and right over nothing.
Over nothing. Over nothing. Ugh. Hopefully it stops.
Well, it'll stop if we get real about it. And anybody that's coming out and having a problem, talk to me about some motherfucking rap lyrics and kiss my fucking ass. That like that.
I really can't believe people are on you like that.
No, it's not even about, forget about it being about me. Because forget about me. The reality is that's the conversation. The conversation is how much we should be willing to accept what artists can do and how much this is a reflection that they're killing them.
Right.
All right, moving on. There's a DJ in LA, Icon, who was recently on a podcast, The Fool Community. Now, I know Icon. I don't know him personally, but he used to be on No Jumper. So I would see him on No Jumper a lot, right? Cool. Love his commentary on a bunch of different things. But in this clip, he was upset about the lack of Mexican rap representation in Kendrick Lamar's Pop-Out show. Can we get the audio, please?
The Mexican people were underrepresented there last night.
I feel it. I can see that.
I can see that too, man, but...
And a lot of people are telling me that I sound like bitter or something. Like, I'm not a rapper, fool. I'm not tripping about not being on stage. I'm saying, like, Jeezy performed, I think, last night.
Yeah.
Did he?
That would have been nice if he would have been on stage.
If he would have.
Now, maybe the young legend had something to do, so he dipped.
Right, because all the artists that did perform were up there.
Facts.
I respect it. Who was up there? I can't keep counting.
There was a lot of people that went, but I think Jeezy was the only
person that didn't pop out? Or were you going to say he's the only Mexican that performed?
Both.
Did he perform? Was he supposed to perform?
He did perform, yeah.
He did
He
perform.
did?
Mhm.
And I didn't see him perform because I caught it late.
I saw the clip.
I saw
I didn't even see that clip.
a
What the
picture
fuck?
of someone posting that he performed.
Do you think it had something to do with it being Juneteenth?
I don't understand. I thought Juneteenth was like on the 16th or something like that. It's on June 19th.
It was Juneteenth yesterday.
Yeah, it was Juneteenth. Facts.
I respect it.
Do you think that had something to do with it?
Had something to do with what? The fact that they threw the show that day? Or that there was no Mexicans on stage?
There you go. Do you think it was supposed to be like...
First of all, let me start off by saying congratulations to Kendrick Lamar and all of the wonderful individuals that performed last night.
Hell yeah, shut him out.
So I'm not trying to go racial with it, but I will say...
we're just picking each other's brains apart.
Although it was Juneteenth, and I believe that's in remembrance of the massacre. I don't want to be wrong, but is it in Tulsa or in Selma?
I don't even know.
Or a place over there? I could be wrong, and I hate to be wrong, but I know it's in remembrance of a massacre that took place, right? I'd like to say that the Mexican people have been persecuted in this wonderful land for a long, long, long time.
Okay.
Man, shut the fuck up. Are you fucking kidding me? We don't even need to debate that. We don't even need to talk about it. It speaks for itself. Are you kidding me?
Uh-huh.
Listen, the fact that he kept saying, I respect it. No, you don't respect it, and you don't respect us. You don't respect our holiday. You don't respect what people have been through, what Black people have been through in this country to understand what Juneteenth represents and how far it goes back. You don't even respect it enough to do the research. You just mad because you didn't see yourself represented on the stage. I understand you maybe generally asking the question. All right, curious. Oh, why didn't I? Just in the same sense as somebody might have said, why were there only LA people on stage? I think it's obvious. It's very obvious why there were no Mexican rappers. It wasn't an exclusion of, hey, we're the only thing that represents LA.
Right.
It was bigger than that. This whole back and forth with Drake and Kendrick is about the culture. It's about Blackness. That's why it was in Inglewood on Juneteenth. June 19th, not June 16th. The cultural relevance goes completely over their head, which is actually why there was no representation for you on that stage. This is just one of those things where it's like, not everybody should have a microphone. I understand he's a DJ. I don't even know his full history and what he represents, but please do your research and fully understand. Or maybe this is where you ask your Black friends before you just get and do a think tank on the microphone and say embarrassing stuff like this.
Yeah. So I want to acknowledge two things. One, we're not from LA, me and you. Okay. I've been here almost 20 years. I'm not from LA. Okay. Two, the relationship between Blacks and Mexicans in LA is, from my understanding, it's a relationship that's different between Blacks and Latinos in a lot of other places. There is a both sharing of a lot of things, but then there's also sometimes
Sure.
a bumping of heads and stuff like that. So I want to make sure I'm sensitive to the sensitivities of the cultural realities of being Black and Mexican in LA. Okay. I'll say something about this though. This clip is a good explanation of the problem. And this is the problem. There is no world in which a culture's expression can Black people say, where are we?
Mm-hmm.
If it is a concert that's happening on Cinco de Mayo, or if it's a concert that's happening on Mexican Independence Day, or if it's a concert that's happening anywhere, we can't say, okay, well, where are we in this situation? Like, are we being represented here?
Uh-huh.
Hip hop becomes a Black expression. It starts off with Blacks and Latinos in New York,
Sure.
right? But particularly LA hip hop starts getting going because of the Black artists here that make it a deal, right? This is a Black celebration. There was Mexican representation up there. But to have people always think that they're supposed to be able to have some visibility in our cultural expression over and over again is exhausting. And we have this conversation so much about almost everything that it is that we do. We do something as Black people, as Black Americans, all we're supposed to do is give. We can't ask to be a part of nothing that nobody else do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to be super highly sensitive of every time we step on anybody else with cultural appropriation, and we police each other. But everything we do is up for debate or up for grabs. Everything we do is up for grabs. Every single thing that we do. The way we wear our clothes, the way we style our hair, the food that we eat, all of that stuff. It's all, everyone can have it. Everyone can have it and then basically then say that it's theirs.
Yeah.
That's another thing. You make food or whatever, it comes from somebody else, it's always yours. But us, we're supposed to be so giving with our culture that you can get mad at us when we're celebrating what we built on our holiday and you don't even know what the holiday is for. You're completely ignorant to what the holiday is for, what Juneteenth is, the day that Juneteenth is, the whole deal. You don't see any of us. All you see is yourself. That is what we're talking about. Now, look, when West Coast, you cannot tell the story of West Coast hip hop without telling the story of Mexicans in hip hop.
And nobody's saying that. That's not what this was.
You can't. But this was a specific cultural celebration thrown by people and they did the way they wanted to do it. Can't we have ours?
Do you think that part of that is not everybody, but often we allow people, we give to people some of our culture. Like we allow people to think that they're a part of it in a way that maybe other people don't.
I mean,
in the sense like, it's the same thing when you had the tweet, somebody tweeted, who are we inviting to the cookout or something like that? And you were like, we got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
too often we see that kind of thing of like, oh, who's invited, or oh, they get a pass, or oh, they got rhythm, or they can cook, or like they're from here, and we allow people to say like, hey, they're a part of us, they're one of us, where you don't necessarily see other cultures do it in the same way.
Yeah. So this is what I would say. And I've talked about this a little bit before. I want to make sure that Icon didn't come back and say anything.
He did take the video down.
The video has been deleted. It'll be interesting. The next thing that he has to say will be interesting. Okay, so this is what I'll say. So almost every other contribution that Black Americans have made in the world has been covered up and minimized.
Mm-hmm.
So any inventions that we've had, any contributions to science, technology, politics, anything that comes from an intellectual place has been co-opted, taken, or suppressed. The one thing that it seems as if American culture and sometimes world culture accepts from us is culture, is our culture. It seems like that's what they want. They want dance, they want food, they want entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
They want inspiration sometimes. Even our intellectual leaders and change makers and taste makers, they kill them and throw them in jail, which is a deterrent to more people doing that. So as much as people revere Dr. King for the intellectual contributions and the changes that he made to society, in order for you to be Dr. King, you have to be cool with being shot in your head at 40.
Mm.
Like, that's the trade-off. If you want to be Huey and Bobby, you got to be cool with going to jail. If you want to be Fred Hampton, you got to be cool with being shot in the middle of the night while you sleep by the police. Right? You have to be cool with all of that. But, if you want to sing and dance for 30 years, they might let you get that off. If you want to tell jokes for 30 years, they might let you get that off. If you want to be behind the scenes of somebody else singing and dancing and telling jokes, if you want to act, they might let you get that off. You might be able to get that off. That's something that you might be able to sell to American culture. But here's the thing. Once you sell them your culture, once they buy it, they feel like it's theirs. Feel like they own it.
Right.
They didn't just buy the way that you walk, the way that you sing, that they bought you. And now when they repackage it and they do it, they're going to forget you ever existed. The Rolling Stones and the Beatles can get on stage and talk about Muddy Waters and Chuck Berry and the rest of those guys all they want. They can talk about Booker T and the MGs and Stax Records and all of those all they want. All of they want. You got a crate dig to go find those guys now. You remember the Stones and you remember the Beatles and you remember all of those people. Now what's happened now is what's changed now is we're able to document our culture in real time, our cultural history in real time. So you can't tell us who invented the shit.
Mm-hmm.
We was there when it was invented. We've seen it on Twitter. We heard the music. We know where it came from. And we over it. We over being told that the culture, which is the only part of the expression of Black American thought that America even meets us on, right? We're tired of giving that to somebody else and them saying that I own it now.
Yeah.
And so the reality is we can all party together. We can all eat together. But I don't want to take from you. Like, if we all do Cinco de Mayo, that's great. That's all fantastic. If we all do a celebration of Mexican heritage and culture or whatever, that's all great. It goes too far, though, when somebody else somewhere says that Cinco de Mayo isn't for Mexicans or it's not by Mexicans or anything like that. Or the food and the culture and the songs, the contributions all of that stuff. Tupac Shakur is named after a very prominent Mexican activist that his mother really loved, Tupac Amaru. Right?
Okay.
So like all of these things can be together. Just don't piss on us. Like it's just like where are we at during your holiday, during your expression, during this? They only pull that shit with black people.
True. I agree.
Oh, Donald Trump has he's back in the news. Look, Donald Trump is really ramping up the Trumpisms right now. Like there's fucking panic all over the place from the Republicans about whether or not the race is tightening. You think the race is tightening?
I thought we reported last week that
I know, but do you think that's a real trend, or you think that is a statistical
I think
anomaly?
it's a trend. I mean, from March to now, you can see that there's an upward trend towards Biden.
Yeah. Well, Trump revealed his favorite opponents amidst this presidential election during a campaign speech in Philadelphia on Saturday night. Donald Trump talked about who he wants to go up against. Give me the audio, Ashley.
And it was they also did it like with Kennedy and with the other ones in there. Cornel West. He's one of my favorite candidates, Cornel West. And I like her also, Jill Stein. I like her very much. You know why? She takes 100% from them. He takes 100%.
So Trump is talking about the fact that Cornel West and Jill Stein take 100% from President Biden in a race that is going to be probably decided by less than 500,000 votes, where every single percentage point counts.
Mm-hmm.
He likes the fact that Jill Stein and Cornel West are
he does.
in the race. He doesn't like the fact that Robert Kennedy Jr. is in the race because he seems to hurt
him.
Although it's unclear, depending on which statistics that you listen to. Should Cornel West and Jill Stein drop out of the presidential race?
Yes. We've said it before. They're not going to win. They know that. I'm all about people standing up for what they believe in and doing it in this way, feeling like nobody's running to represent the country in a way that you want seem fit. So I understand why. But right now at this point, if it's as close as you say that it's going to be, I'm not understanding why either one of them wants to stay in the race. Marquette, shout out to my alma mater, Marquette Law School did a national survey where Dr. Cornel West got 5% support when the choices were expanded to third-party candidates. Trump led with 41%. This was like April. This was before he was convicted. Trump led with 41%. Biden trailed with 38, and Kennedy had 14. Stein got 2. So if that's the case, let's just say that this poll is true. It's representative of the country. Those 5 points are extremely important. And I'm reading articles now. NBC News did an investigation of Republicans that are helping, because apparently Dr. Cornel West is spending more money on campaign designs than he is in putting money behind getting his name on the petitions. Apparently, like a former campaign staffer said that he doesn't really have an understanding of that. Mm-hmm. And so he's really struggling to get on a lot of the ballots in these states. And Republicans are helping him get signatures to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
Republicans are blitz canvassing, known for helping other Republicans get into the House, into the Senate, is the people. There are people literally listed who are, like North Carolina is one state where they're doing it, listed recruiting to get signatures to get him on the ballot. Of course, I should say that Dr. Cornel West and his campaign have said that they have not paid anybody to do this. They were unaware that these people were connected to Republicans in this way. But the point being is that Republicans are putting their efforts behind Dr. Cornel West because he will take away votes. And if you know all of that, he knows all this information. I don't understand why you wouldn't remove yourself, because I think Dr. Cornel West would agree that he'd rather have this country run by Biden than
Oh, I don't think he would
Trump.
agree with that necessarily at all.
So he'd rather have Trump.
I don't think he'd rather have either guy.
Well, of course he'd rather have neither. That's why he's running.
No. What I'm saying is I don't think that Cornel West thinks that there's a material difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
Well, I guess that's why he's running. Well, then I would hope he would think that, but I guess not. I mean, it actually makes more sense for what you're saying, because otherwise, why would he be running?
Yeah, I don't think that he thinks that there's much of a difference between the two guys. I think a lot of people that are third-party proponents feel the same way. And these are people that are, I mean, there's a horseshoe situation that happens, right, with the far left and the far left and the far right, where they both kind of come around to the same thing. I think a lot of people that are to the far left of the party, and I'm not talking about anybody that would be in the Congress or like the squad members. I'm talking about to the left of the squad members. You know, if you to the degree that you think the squad members are super progressive and left wing, I'm talking about to the left of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those people take any solace in voting for Joe Biden. Like if you had like Brianna Greyjoy in here right now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's definitely not a Biden fan. And I think people that would caucus with her or have her same view of the world are certainly not going to be excited about voting for Joe Biden. I think Cornel West is one of those people. The question is, not how sincere he is in that belief, but whether that belief serves the greater good. That's the case to me. The case to me is whether or not somebody that wants to vote third party, because remember, Mark Lamont Hill voted Jill Stein very famously in 2016 and then regretted it and talked about how, it cost people because your vote for Jill Stein, and this is not about Mark because he's talked about this and been very open about this, your vote for Jill Stein in 2016 might have cost women their reproductive rights. It might have cost Roe, right? It actually, there's no might, it did. Right, if the margin that Jill Stein, if that margin affected the election, which I haven't looked at that directly, how much of an effect, so I wouldn't want to just say that without actually having any data to back it up. If that's the case, then they changed their court. Their court made a decision, and then that decision stripped women of their reproductive rights in states all over the place. The question is that worth it? Is it worth it to be an idealist in the sense that you want to really start a new political movement while actual political movement is happening? That's the question.
I think what you're saying makes sense. If they truly don't see Biden better than Trump or Trump better than Biden, then why would they ever? You're never going to be able to convince them to drop out. Why would that ever change for them? Because if they don't see like, oh, well, at least it would be better under Biden, then they're not going to, Dr. Cornel West is not going to drop out.
Well,
and neither
or
is Jill
Jill Stein. I mean, that's why the question has to be about.
Or Robert or RFK Jr.
Yeah, that's why RFK Jr. is definitely not dropping out. That's why the question has to be substantive. It has to be about policy and it has to be about data, right? Because if we're talking about, if I'm talking about the difference between Biden and Trump, a lot of it has to do with what people who are organizing for policy and for outcomes that I feel like affect the greater good, a lot of it has to do with who they feel like they can work with, right? And they feel like they can work better and organize better. I mean, AOC said this, under a Joe Biden presidency, right? Donald Trump is going to take an adversarial role to almost everything that they're trying to do. So it's not really going to happen, right? I don't think you're going to get the First Step Act and things like that in the second Trump term. I think that a lot of the things that you're going to get are going to be a doubling and a tripling down and really a reward to his supporters that have stuck around with him this long through all of the problems that he's had. He's going to reward them with a lot of policy that is going to be regressive and very, very difficult to overcome, right? To me. A lot of people don't see that big of a difference. You know, a lot of people think, well, Biden's going to be soft on Israel. Trump's going to be soft on Israel. There might be different versions of their soft, but they're both going to be soft. Biden is going to be for the military industrial complex. Trump is going to be for the military industrial complex. You know, Biden says that he's going to, the Trump tax cuts end in 2025. So we'll see what they're willing to do or what Joe Biden can do, or any president that's in that situation that's on the left can do to keep parts of that tax deal that benefit people that make under $400,000 a year, maybe change the corporate tax rate back to what it was before those tax cuts that drove up the deficit. It's just all of this stuff.
Yeah.
When you have two people that represent the corporate wings of their party, there are a lot of people that are on the far left who just don't believe that those candidates have any worth. And the only way to buck that system is to introduce something new into it. So they're not playing a political game that's based on being pragmatic.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so it's like there's not much of a conversation to be had.
That's
You know,
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's like if there is an election in November that sees Donald Trump as the winner, it could very well be the fault of campaigns run by Cornel West and Jill Stein. The question is, does that mean that they shouldn't run them?
I mean, this is where it becomes subjective because as we started off this conversation, don't think that they should be. But if they're of the belief that, it would be the same under either one, and they're standing on what they stand in, then they're going to say no. Like it's not taking it away. It wouldn't be any different. Whoever's wins the presidency. So I'd be interested in having a conversation with one of them on the podcast, but I think that they would echo your sentiments in regards to why they're running.
But do you know what? Do you know why I think it's and obviously Melania Abdullah is somebody who I have.
We've had her on the podcast.
We've had her on the podcast, and we'd love to have her back. She is Cornel West's running mate. Dr. Abdullah is just a light and a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous woman, like a fantastic lady. I'll be interested in knowing and obviously I know a lot about the platforms, but I've watched a lot of interviews and all of that stuff, but just in conversation, talking to Dr. West about what he thinks the specific value of his campaign is, being that he knows he's not going to win. But I mean, with his set of policies and political beliefs, he just doesn't align with Joe Biden.
I would be curious into what he thinks about these people, these Republican-led organizations canvassing and organizing on his behalf in order to fight against.
Because he's playing spoiler. Because they know he's playing spoilers.
No, I know, but I would want to hear him talk about it.
Talk about that. I mean, look, I would be interested to know how much of our audience is on board with the third party revolution. The reason why I say that is because I do think that our audience encompasses a lot of people that there's a diaspora of the left on the side of our audience. There are people who are fucking super upset whenever I would give any criticism to Joe Biden. But there are also people who the massacre in Gaza is a third rail for them, and they'll never vote for the president.
Right.
Like they'll never vote for him now. And I wonder how far that goes with some people and what the conversation amongst we have a really informed group of people who listen to the podcast. I would wonder how they view this and what they think. Because it's going to depend on turnout, right? So, I mean, I'm not mad at Dr. West. I guess my question would be, if Biden and Trump are not materially different for women, for Black people, for poor people, for all of the groups that I know that they care about, it would just be interesting to hear why. It would be interesting to hear why from him. And like I said, there's an argument that no corporate Democrat or no corporate Republican is actually interested in advancing the lives, the franchisement, and the freedom of the average American, of the poor American,
Sure.
of advancing those causes.
You say you're not mad at Dr. West. I think, and I was thinking about that as you said it. Would I be mad if Trump wins? Because, the numbers are so close. And when it comes to some of those key states where the margins are so slim, that, West took votes, or Stein took votes away from Biden. I'm like, I wonder, would I be mad? No. I don't know no, maybe I would. But I think what Dr.
You'd
West
certainly
would
be
say,
fucking.
I think
You'd be
what-
agitated, right?
I would be
Yeah.
agitated. And I think what Dr. West would say is, well, then, the Democrats should have put up somebody better than Biden. I don't think he would take blame for that. He would say people voted for who they wanted to, and if you're disappointed, and if your Democrat couldn't get enough votes, that's y'all's fault for putting up somebody who was not the stronger candidate.
Last thing I'll ask you about this. If in fact that set of circumstances came out to be what happened, Biden won, and there was a significant percentage of
You mean
people.
Trump won?
Excuse me. If Trump won, and there was a significant percentage of people who voted for Jill Stein or Cornel West, if he gave you like 4, what are the numbers again?
5
5% for who?
for West,
5% for West.
2 for Jill.
So 7%, right? And if you could, and oftentimes that 7%, if we're being honest, are people, I know what people think, but oftentimes that 7% are people who would stay home.
Mm.
So the question is, how many of those people in that 7%, and this goes for 2016 too, how many of the people in that 7% would have voted for Joe Biden?
Right.
Or would 5% of that 7%, 6% of that 7%, 4% of that 7% have just stayed home and not voted at all, right? The question is, would you rather talk to Cornel West or would you rather talk to that voter?
Oh.
Because I actually, if there's anybody out there right now who's listening to this, I got to talk to my man Phil. Shout out to Phil from Black Men Build. Man, support Philip Agnew, Tef Poe. Support these brothers that are out there doing stuff. Support Black Men Build, man. Support them. They are really, really building comprehensive men in a way that is incredibly profound. They are such great, amazing men. I don't agree with them with everything politically. I agree with them on 95% of things politically, but they're fantastic guys. But a Cornel West voter,
Mm-hmm.
I think would be super interesting. So if you're out there right now and you're listening to this and you plan on voting for Dr. West and Melina Abdullah, Dr. Abdullah, like hit me up and maybe we'll get you on here to talk about.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, to maybe have them around and see. Would you like to do something like that? Would you like to do where we talked to 3 Biden voters, 3 Trump voters, 3 West voters, 3 Stein voters? I think that would be so interesting if we had people on here,
I think it's interesting too.
just like normal
we got time
people.
to plan it too.
Yeah, just normal people, not whatever, that just plan to vote for these candidates for whatever reason. I want to talk to the actual people that are making their decision and maybe not hear the talking points that we're going to hear from people that come on there,
Right. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
The XXL freshman class came out. Do you know what that is?
Yes. I feel like you did this to me last year, but go ahead.
All right. There are 11 people on the XXL cover. All right. 11 XXL, the freshman cover 2024. We're going to do it. How many of these people do Rachel know who they are? All right. Out of 11. Rachel, have you heard of Lay Banks?
No.
Maya the Don?
No.
Big X the Plug?
Yes, Texas represent.
Okay. Huncho?
Yeah. But I thought he's been out. Okay, but yeah.
Skilla Baby?
No.
Cash Cobain?
No.
You never heard of Cash Cobain?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
I hate when you say interesting. Interesting.
That Mexican OT
Yeah, he's on something. He's on. Yeah,
from
he's.
Texas as well.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it
That
was.
Mexican
I was just
OT
listening.
is-
I was just listening to something with him. Okay,
Shout
yeah.
out to the Cowboy Hat Revolution. That Mexican OT, I fuck with him. Richard Miri.
No.
Boss Man D-Lo.
No.
You heard of Boss Man D-Lo.
No, give me the song.
Boss Man D-Lo. 4 Bats.
Dallas.
Okay.
Shout out to Erin. She reps them. That's how I just found out. I found out about them. Yeah,
Okay.
they're from Dallas.
Uh,
Dallas, really, Texas, really representing on here.
Texas is doing their thing. Scarlett.
Yes,
Okay.
because of you
right.
recently.
Right. Okay. So then it's 11 people on there.
I got more than half.
I'm fucking with you. It's 11 people on there. You did your thing. Big X the Plug. Scarlett. 4 Bats. That Mexican OT. And Huncho. Those are the people that you.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga's name might not even be Huncho. Hey, do y'all know who this is?
With the X?
With an X.
Yeah.
Is that Huncho?
That's how I always read it.
Huncho. Yeah, Huncho. Shout out to these people. Shout out to these people on the front of this. So you're what? 5 out of 11? That's good.
It's better than I thought.
The
Woof.
ones I know were literally That Mexican OT, Cash Cobain, Boss Man D-Lo, 4 Bats, and Scarlett.
You've never heard of Big X the Plug?
Nope.
I
never heard of Big X the Plug.
That he's probably one of the most popular ones on there.
Yeah.
Maybe I just. Have you guys heard of Big X the Plug? Yeah, okay, we're 1 for 1.
I never heard of Big X the Plug. But let me tell y'all something right now. The people that's 40 and over and are looking at the freshman list and don't know who the kids on the freshman list are.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Would you have said that if I had named one? I feel like no, you would have.
That's
Just
not
like
true.
the
Rachel-
the level of disgust you had.
Rachel,
You don't know Cash Cobain?
because Cash
You don't
Cobain
know?
is actually famous though.
That's how I feel about Big X the Plug.
I feel you. Okay, so this is what I would say. It's okay to be over 40 and not know the people that's on the freshman list. It's okay, man. You're not
Thanks.
supposed to know. It's okay to move on. It is. It's okay to
It is okay.
It's okay to move on, man. It's okay to move on. You know, me and Charlamagne was talking about this. Like my parents in 93 wasn't like, oh shit, when Biggie dropping. They weren't on that.
But they knew who he was.
They knew who he was, but they weren't like they weren't. I feel like there's been a compression, a cultural compression of interests. You know, my pops wore different jewelry than me. He
Mhm.
dressed different than me.
Yeah.
He listened to different music. He was from a different generation. My dad wasn't no 50-year-old guy with a blinged out choker chain on and the Amiri jeans. That shit was not happening.
It's also different. Think about it. Have you seen the pictures where it's like the Golden Girls were 50 here compared to what a 50-year-old looks like now? 30's the new 20, 40's the new 30, 50's the new whatever. It's like, yeah, you still have people representing a younger dynamic because that's just what we tell each other. And honestly, I'm fine with it.
We're worse off for it. We're
fine with
we're
it.
worse off for it. Look,
I feel young in my soul.
you are young, but what I'm saying is feeling young in your soul is different than projecting this toxic youth that makes you look like a fucking fool.
Okay, I'm
Like-
not there.
I'm not not you.
But I don't
but-
think somebody wearing a Mary jeans at 50 is a bad thing.
I think it is.
What is you don't have to be a certain age to wear a Miri.
I think there's
And frankly, seeing how I'm into the 50-year-olds, I welcome the Miri jeans.
I don't think you need to be walking around with no Amiri jeans and with all of them chains on and all of that stuff at 50, man. It's okay to, it's like there's a swag that you get, right, and a way that you are that should be a little bit different. There's supposed to be some
You can be grown,
elevation and
man.
some change.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
supposed to be different. The youth culture is supposed to be less appealing. You're not supposed to want to know everybody on the Fresh and Lift. You're supposed to support these young artists, support them, and not, whatever. But like, it's okay to get a little older, man. Get away from that shit.
Well, then don't shame people when they don't know Cash Cobain.
I'm just saying, Cash
No,
Cobain.
No.
I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just saying, to me, Cash Cobain is.
You're guilty of it. That
Look-
was toxic.
I apologize. Right there. Look at that. Boom. Have I told you about my year of toxic apology?
No.
Whatever. I apologize.
So then I feel like you don't mean it.
I do. Right away.
You
I
just
apologize.
say it. No.
Nope.
You're just no.
I'm
That's
sorry.
It's not heartfelt.
I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
I apologize.
Take
Rachel.
it.
Rachel. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's it. You can't be mad anymore.
I'm not. I've never.
I don't
believe you.
I've apologized for it. Now, I've understood that by delving into a realm of toxic apology,
Mm-hmm.
it throws it back on the other person.
It doesn't.
I apologize. Somebody get it. Hey, sorry, my bad. I apologize. Whatever. Right away.
Apologize for what?
I apologize for whatever is fucked up. As a matter of fact, I want to issue something. This is a pre-apology.
That you just press the button and
Yep.
play.
This is a pre-apology. I'm fucking sorry to y'all. Whatever happened, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. My bad. It's a pre-apology. Use this right here. This is the apology face. So whenever
This
you
is
want
so
to,
toxic.
whenever you want to say sorry, whenever something goes wrong, I'm sorry. Because you know what? You know what the reality is? I really didn't mean it. Whatever
That's
happened,
not true.
I'm serious. Whatever happened, I did not mean it. Like I didn't.
Well, let me tell you what so I can't rate your apologies then.
Well, you
because
should
you had
never want to rate my apologies because that's not great to do that. But you shouldn't rate my apologies. We should rate other people's apologies. Like my apologies should start off at an 8.
Well, I can tell you right now, the one you just recorded, a 1.
Damn. But you don't even know what I'm apologizing for yet.
You don't either.
What are the chances to you that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get married?
I don't care.
I need you to tell
I
me
just
now.
can't care. I'm sick of it.
What are the chances
They're
that Taylor
everywhere.
Swift and Travis Kelce get married? Are you going over 50?
Engaged or married? Because I could see them
Actual
getting
married.
engaged.
Actual married. Actual married. Actual
I'm going
married.
under.
Under 50%.
hmm
Why?
I don't know. I just don't care. I'm trying. We don't care. Come on, let's not end the podcast on this.
I'm
We don't
asking
care.
you, but it's very important.
Why? To who?
It's very
Our
important to a
audience
lot of
isn't
the.
Swifties.
You don't think. You just don't care about like what the white people care about. Apologize to the white people.
Is this what the setup was?
No, apologize to them because that's okay. So remember I told you about the apologies. That's an apology. You should say sorry for not caring about
You
Taylor
should say
Swift.
sorry for assuming that all white people care about
I
Taylor
apologize.
Swift. Let's go. Let's go. Not you getting thumbs up. Let's go. Somebody has to balance it. I'm not apologizing.
Anything caps off, but do not stop learning. I am Van Lathan Jr.
I'm Rachel Lynn Lindsay. Bye, guys.